This is the beginning of a mini series of episodes. We hear a lot about straight white privilege, male privilege, etc. We never hear about other types of privilege. So I'm going to, episode by episode, go through the types of privilege that for some reason no one ever talks about. Female privilege, trans privilege, gay privilege, black privilege, white privilege. And I'll also touch on things like intelligence privilege, height privilege, attractiveness privilege, country you're born in privilege, two-parent privilege, etc. Because the extent to which this argument is one-sided is ridiculous. It is akin. I hate to compare it to the Nazis again, but it is akin to how Nazis talked about Jews. It's how most Western countries talk about straight white men. It's a completely demonized category now. Whites are demonized, straight people are demonized, men are demonized, and straight white men, as we know, are the Dalit class, the untouchable, lowest caste of Western society now. Almost no one ever pushes back on this, even on the right. So is white privilege a thing? Is white male privilege a thing? You can find corners of society where it's a thing, but I think there's far more privileged groups. I really don't think straight white men are any more privileged than other groups. And in many cases, other groups are far more privileged than them. So I'll be going through these types of privilege one by one to expose the demonization of the straight white man in the Western world. It's disgusting, and it really is similar to what the Nazis began with the Jews. And we know where that ended up. I don't think I'm exaggerating saying that if Western societies stay on this trajectory of fuck whites, fuck men, fuck straight white men, let's systematically discriminate against them, which has been happening for decades and is only intensifying and has infected every big company, government and education almost completely. It's people are being brainwashed, and the fuck straight white men agenda is in full effect everywhere. This leads to genocide. Because once you've dehumanized a group, you can do anything to them then. Once straight white men have been blamed for any problems humanity's ever had, anything's fair game at that point. You can do anything you like. So I'll be balancing things out and exposing that straight white men are probably the least privileged group in Western society now. Of course, that wasn't the case in the Deep South during segregation. There was genuine straight white male privilege then. Before homosexuality was legalised, or gay sex was legalised. Yes, there were advantages to being straight. But legally, none of these things are the case in the West anymore. And actually, there's many privileges other groups have over straight white men. So look out for the episodes where I'll be covering this coming up next.
This was the Deviant Developer Podcast. Tap subscribe in any podcast app to never miss an episode. To contact me or make a welcome donation, go to thedeviantdeveloper.com.